Hello everyone. Today we have Mr. Adarsh Kumar Gupta with us, and Adarsh has recently joined Fuji Electric India Private Limited as a design engineer in R&D wing. And he has joined in this July only. And prior to joining this company, he has done his master's MTech in Energy Sciences and Engineering from IIT Bombay. So today we will get to know more about his journey of getting placed in Fuji Electric and the various recruitment, like the recruitment process which was done in his case. So thank you, others. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Bhaiya, for inviting me for this.
Yeah, so others, we can talk a bit about this company first, Fuji Electric. कि like what does this company do? कहाँ की company है? क्या क्या products ये offer करते हैं? Can you please talk a bit about these things first?
Yeah. So basically, this Fuji Electric is a Japanese-based company.
Okay.
So basically, they have many branches in other countries, but in India, they have started in 2009. So in 2009, they have started its branch in Chennai, Fuji Electric India Private Limited. And now currently they have started a new branch in Pune also.
Oh,
In Pune, they have two plants. One is for R&D and one is for production. So
okay.
the Chennai plant is basically based on automation parts, and in Pune they are basically making the energy products. Like
Okay.
Fuji Electric is famous for making UPS all
Okay.
over in India, and also they are supplying UPS in overseas. So basically UPS, solar inverter, and also like power distribution units, static transfer switches. So they are basically making the products which are necessary in the data centers,
Okay.
and also they are main supplier for of the UPS in data centers basically. And
Okay.
its UPS is like many UPS they are making online UPS, offline UPS. The
Oh,
UPS is the most important product of the Fuji Electric. And
okay.
also in Chennai plant, they are working on drives and control. They are making different types of drives that are used in automotive industry. And
Oh,
also they are making some semiconductor devices like IGBT. The one
okay.
famous IGBT product is from Fuji Electric.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. So, you have joined Pune,
yeah,
Pune. Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, can you please talk a bit about your profile? कि इस profile के
yeah.
लिए skills क्या क्या required थे या इस profile से क्या क्या expected था? उस बारे में हम थोड़ा बात कर सकते हैं.
Yeah, basically, my profile in Fuji Electric is power electronics design engineer in
Okay.
research and development team. Basically, our role is like if the company has some many company are giving orders to this company, like we want this type of specification of UPS, like we want this type of power supply. So
Okay.
first, the company will give us like these are the requirement. So we, the design team in R&D, will create one prototype, like how we can increase
Oh,
their
okay.
performance, how we can
Yeah.
increase their efficiency, and
Yeah.
how we can compact the size of that component. So research and development team will first create that design. So
Okay.
basically in our R&D team, there are many teams like power electronic design team for hardware. Then another team is control and simulation. Then next team is embedded firmware. So basically the first that product will come power electronic design engineer hardware
Uh,
team. That
okay.
hardware team will decide like which component we have to use, and
Oh,
which what are the rating of that component. So all the things we will design, and then we will give that product to control and simulation team that will
oh,
design that control part, like closed loop control. Then after that control part, that embedded firmware team, like in converter we have to create pulses and all
oh,
things.
yeah.
So the pulses will be created by DSP and other things, so that part will be done by embedded firmware team.
Okay.
So basically, all the team R&D team will first make one prototype of that model. Then after testing and other things that product is working fine, we are achieving that much of efficiency, we are
Yeah.
achieving that much of output which we want. Then that product will go in production, and then
Okay.
company will produce that product. So basically,
Oh.
that is our role. Yeah.
So मीन्स काफी कोर इंजीनियरिंग नॉलेज की जरूरत है इस
Yeah,
प्रोफाइल
yeah,
के लिए.
yeah. It is a purely core profile. So yeah,
Yeah, like you talked about so much stuff. Like I remember a few things from my bachelor's days, but yeah, it seems that it's more towards, core technical knowledge, very
yeah,
core.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
तो स्किल्स की अगर हम बात करें तो इसके लिए क्या क्या टूल्स रिक्वायर्ड, लाइक इन योर पर्टिकुलर डोमेन क्या क्या टूल्स की जरूरत
Hmm.
पड़ती है आप लोगों को?
Yeah. So basically, as a power electronic design engineer, first of all, you have to basic knowledge of all the
Yeah.
switches which we are used in our power electronics. Like there are many
Okay.
switches, IGBT, MOSFET,
Yeah.
how you can select that MOSFET, how you can select that filter, capacitor, inductor, how
Oh.
to design inductor, how to design high frequency transformer. So these are the basic knowledge as a power electronics
Okay.
engineer you have to know. Like in
Yeah.
my thesis, my MTech thesis
Yeah.
project, my project
Yeah.
was design and development of onboard EV charger. So in that EV charger, first of all, I have learned many AC to DC converter, like what are the different topologies for AC DC converter and for DC DC converters. So
Okay.
basically from that, you know, like which converter has best efficiency, which converter can use for which application. So that things you have to know. And the
Yes.
second part is like when we come to a power electronics, then that is deal with high frequency. So you have to knowledge about how to design inductor, how to design
Oh.
transformer for
Okay.
high frequency.
Okay.
So these
Okay.
things you have to know. Also for that simulation part, there are many software like MATLAB, Simulink, and
Okay.
also one software is Plex. So
Okay.
I have used Plex software for my simulation of that converter. That will give a
Okay.
clear idea like your design is correct or not. So
Okay.
basically in that software you have to put values and you will give input
Yeah.
that will give
Yeah.
output. So from that
Yes.
we can say that my design is correct. So basically like you have to more knowledge about power electronics
Yes. Yes.
and yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
And also some part of analog
Oh. Okay.
electronics is also important in power electronic design
Okay.
engineer.
Okay. Got it. So it's more like the domain knowledge. You should
Yeah,
have very sound knowledge of power electronic signals and systems and these things, as you
yeah,
mentioned. And then, of course, once you have the data, then you use certain simulations tools like MATLAB, Simulink to analyze
yeah,
your
yeah,
results. Okay, got
yes,
it.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so Adarsh, now we can talk about the recruitment process which Fuji would
Okay.
have conducted in your case. So, what were the various steps which they conducted? Like starting from, like, as I remember, normally the companies they have resume shortlisting and then test and then interviews. So, what was the various things which they conducted in your case?
Okay. So basically, the first step was they have created JAF and we have to
Yeah.
apply it in that company.
Yes.
Then after that, they have sent one link for test, like
Okay.
that is
Okay.
online test. So in
Yeah.
that test, total 50 questions was there. So
Okay,
in
means
50
like all of the students, those who applied for this profile, they were allowed to appear for the written test.
means there are no CPI. I
Oh,
have not remember completely, but I
yeah.
think 6 CPI was there. The
Okay.
student who has more than CPI of 6,
Yes.
they can
Yes.
apply for that company because
Right.
company many core company are putting that CPI limit 6 to
Yes.
7. So
Right.
in
Right.
that company also there are one limit like the CPI more than 6 they can apply. So we
Okay.
have applied like all the students have got that link for test. So
Okay.
in that test, total 50 questions was there,
Okay.
and that question was in like doc form. So in that there are multiple choice questions. You have
Oh,
to
okay.
select one option. So all
Okay.
50 questions, many like 90% question is from power electronics. So
Okay.
you have to more knowledge on power electronics. Like we have prepared for that gate, so
Oh,
that gate syllabus is sufficient for that exam, and
okay.
mainly 10 question is from network and analog electronics, but
Okay.
my major question was from power electronics, that is
Power electronics.
like numerical based question, so you have to choose one option. After that test, they have shortlisted that candidate for interview. So
Okay.
first round was HR
So
plus technical
others,
round.
Others, we can
Yeah.
talk a bit more about the written test. So as you
Yes.
mentioned कि सब लोगों को link आया था and then they were asked to appear for the written test. So one more thing
Yes.
I would like to know here, was this profile open to like almost all the students or to any specific
No.
department only?
No. No, Bhaiya. Actually, that is open for only three departments: system and
Okay.
control, and
Okay.
electrical and energy science and engineering. So
Okay. And
basically,
master
only three
students,
departments.
master or bachelors also?
Masters and bachelors both. Like,
Okay.
yeah. Hmm.
Okay, okay. So these three, like you like electrical engineering, systems and control, and then energy science and engineering.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned कि CPI cutoff was some 6-7, इतना basic cutoff उन्होंने
Yeah.
mention किया था, and then there was the written test. Written test
Yeah.
में you mentioned there were like three parts, but major जो portion था that was from power electronics.
Power
And then कुछ
electronics. Yeah.
questions network के थे, कुछ questions analog के थे, as you mentioned.
Hmm.
Yeah. कुछ aptitude वगैरह के भी questions थे क्या इसमें, aptitude के
No.
questions? Nothing.
No, there is no
Programming
aptitude
वगैरह,
question.
programming कुछ भी नहीं था.
No, no, no,
Okay.
nothing.
तो and it was a Google Doc, like Google Form based like test. Google Form के through उन्होंने किया था.
Yeah.
Okay. तो
Hmm.
power electronics का like कैसी तैयारी की आपने? Like how did you
Yeah.
prepare for power electronics? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, like when we are going in third semester, we are starting for placement preparation.
Yeah. Right.
So in IIT Bombay, the core company who are coming for placement, many
Yeah.
are for that power electronic based company. Like like Mercedes also, Bajaj
Yeah.
also, TVS
Yeah.
also. So they are
Yeah.
asking more about power electronics. So first priority of us is first prepare power electronics.
Okay.
So we are covered the syllabus, gate syllabus that we
Yeah.
have used for that gate exam. So we are
Okay.
revising that, and also side by side we are solving that previous year questions from that gate part. So
Okay.
that is sufficient for any company's
Uh-huh.
exam, like written
Right.
test
Right.
exam. That is covered. Like that
Hmm.
gate syllabus, if you are preparing, then that is covered all the test for that. For
तो गेट का क्या लाइक दोनों 1 marks 2 marks क्वेश्चंस दोनों करने चाहिए या लाइक एनी?
no, no, 1 marks question is more sufficient. 2 marks
ओके.
question generally company is not asking.
या बिकॉज
So
उनके केस में
yeah,
लाइक वेरी शॉर्ट अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम पे बहुत ज्यादा क्वेश्चंस पूछते हैं,
yeah.
तो 1 marks क्वेश्चन शुड बी, बट या ऑफ कोर्स यू शुड आल्सो
Like
हैव द नो. या.
yeah, I've experienced like that. If you have covered syllabus, all the syllabus of that all section in power electronic, then you will definitely crack that test. That is
ओके.
not much difficult. Yeah,
ओके. तो गेट का ही प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस वाज द मेन रिसोर्स फॉर यू, वही आपने
yeah.
किया. एंड व्हाट वाज योर बैचलर्स डोमेन, लाइक आपका
My
बैचलर्स किस में था?
bachelor's is in electrical engineering.
ओके. सो डिड दैट हेल्प समहाउ, क्योंकि गेट भी आपने इलेक्ट्रिकल का दिया होगा, तो डिड
Yeah,
दैट
yeah.
हेल्प, कुछ हेल्प मिला उससे?
Yeah, yeah, that helps more because in electrical engineering there are three major subjects: power electronic, machine, and power systems. So power
Right.
electronics is our first
Right.
core
Right.
subject, so that helped me a lot.
Right. That help. Okay. So coming to network and analog, which was the other two parts, even though they were less in proportion, but there were these two parts also. तो इसकी तैयारी आपने कैसे की? अगेन गेट का यूज किया या कुछ और आपने इसके लिए किया?
Yeah, no, like in networks, only thing is if you revise all the theorems and all
Okay.
the some part of syllabus, like not needed to revise all the syllabus. Like in network, also there are four sections: theorem, basic nodal analysis, and also two-port network. But two-port network generally companies are not asked. They are
Okay.
only asking that nodal analysis question and also maximum power transfer theorem. These type of question, basic question only they have
Okay.
asked. If you will revise that syllabus once, then like definitely everyone can attempt that question and do it. And
Okay.
for
Okay.
analog part, basics of that analog, they are asking like what are the diode characteristic, how the BJT
Mhm.
can be used, and
Right.
the different type of configuration. So the very basic question they have asked in that
Okay.
paper.
Okay, okay. So yeah, so we talked about this written test thing, and we discussed also the various like sections and how should one prepare for those particular sections. Yeah, so now we can talk about the interview round. So as you mentioned that after the written test was conducted, Fuji Electric they released the list of students shortlisted for the interviews, right?
Yeah.
या सो देन आप इंटरव्यू के बारे में हम बात कर सकते हैं लाइक व्हाट वर द वेरियस राउंड्स इन द इंटरव्यू और ये
Yeah.
ऑनलाइन इंटरव्यू था या फेस टू फेस इंटरव्यू था
No, actually, the first round was technical plus HR round, that is offline,
ओ
that is
ओके
conducted in campus. So, first round, there are one technical person was there, and in front of them, one HR is also there. So basically, they have asked only thing in your which you have write in resume, like from starting to end part. They are
ओ
covering all the things in resume. Like first of all, in my resume there is a thesis, master thesis project.
राइट
So
राइट
they have asked like, what is your project? How which part you have completed? What is your future plan for that project? And
राइट
also basically some overview, like they have not gone in much of depth of that project. Only thing is the overview, and also they want to express that project in a very simple way. Like some people are
हाँ
telling very deep things,
यस
then the company person also confused. So they have
राइट
only asked me to draw block diagram of your charger, how you can derive that, how you can make that charger. There are many steps. So basically, I have explained it in very clear way. Like this is the first part, front end part, then back end part, then
या
this thing. So
राइट
they have understand much easily. Then from next part, basically we in IIT Bombay taken that courses, and in course there are many projects is there. So we
या
have written course project. So from that course project, they have asked some question like which project, like how you have approached for that project, and which
ओके
tool you have used, and
या
what are the results you have get. So after that, things they have covered, and then from that we have written what are the major subject we have taken. So
ओके
in that resume, so they have told me like what are the subject you have learned, like which subject you feel that more important in this area, all the thing. So after that covering of resume, they have asked me question from digital electronics,
ओ
that is different. So
ओके
they have told me like, do you know like what is flip flop?
या
And could you please draw, like you can draw any logic of that flip flop? So they have
या
told me to draw JK flip flop logic, how
या
the state transition is happening. So like that thing I have
या
prepared in Gate, so I remembered that. So I have drawn that. I have
ओके
written. So from digital electronics, they came to control system.
ओ
So
ओके
he asked me like, what is that proportional controller, integral
या
controller, PID controller? So
या
that thing also they are not going in much deeper. They are just
या
asking that you have to know that basic knowledge of that.
यस यस
So I have told them like I have answered all the questions. So after I think it is 45 minutes first round has taken HR plus technical. So after that, they have taken everyone interview, that HR plus technical. Then they have shortlisted 10 candidates for second round.
Okay.
So
So others HR plus technical में you mentioned कि they started with your resume about all the
yeah,
things MTP, course projects, courses and all these things. तो और फिर वो उन्होंने उन्होंने डिजिटल के बारे में बात की तो फिर HR इसमें क्या था लाइक यू मेंशन कि इट वाज HR प्लस
yeah,
टेक्निकल HR का पार्ट
yeah.
क्या था इसमें फिर
Actually, in my case, like the technical person have only asked questions. So at last, HR has told me like, from my side, I have no question to you. But
ओह
in
ओके
my some friends, HR has also asked some
ओह
question like, in your family, like who are there, so from which place you belongs to. But in
ओह
my case, that technical round goes more. So HR has asked
ओके
no question to me.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think he was or she was just observing you by the way you are answering various questions and
Yeah.
all. Okay, and you also mentioned कि उन्होंने कुछ draw वगैरह भी करने को बोला. Means it was face to face
Yeah.
interview, so
Yes.
they gave you some sheet of paper and you had to draw
Yes.
certain web forms and all.
Yeah,
Okay,
they have given me one blank sheet of A4 size paper, and they have told me to draw that block diagram of
Okay.
that your charger, and also could you please explain me, like in my
Uh,
charger there is one converter is there, so they have told me to draw that converter and
okay.
explain me how this converter will be more efficient than other converters. So I explained them like how
Mhm.
these things can happen. Hmm.
ओके ओके सो वी कवर्ड एचआर प्लस टेक्निकल राउंड इवन दो आपसे कुछ एचआर की चीजें पूछी नहीं गई देन अगेन कुछ बच्चे शॉर्टलिस्ट हुए थे फॉर फर्दर राउंड्स ऑफ इंटरव्यू मतलब यहाँ से कुछ लोग
Yes,
एलिमिनेट हुए थे कुछ लोग फिर आगे
yes,
शॉर्टलिस्ट हुए ओके
yeah.
उसमें फिर क्या हुआ हाँ
Yeah, almost. I think there are 35 students who have given HR plus technical, but only 10% has gone to say
ओ
second round. So in the second round, that interview was online interview, and that is taken by head of that R&D.
ओ ओके
So mine interview was first interview, so I have gone to that interview,
ओके
and that is online. So basically, that head of R&D have asked me the deep question regarding my thesis only.
ओ
So he has taken one pen and also one paper, and he asked me question and written that, like what I am telling. So basically, he started from the basics of my thesis project, like what tool you have used, how you have calculated that values of inductor. So he is
ओ
written on that paper, and also he is verifying that result. Like
ओ
if I'm telling that I got this much of microhenry of that inductor, then he's telling like this is too less. Why you have not used much more? So you will get more results. So I'm telling that, sir, actually this is first stage. So in the second stage I will do that thing. So basically that interview was half an hour interview,
ओके
and after that head of R&D have asked me question like would you comfortable to join our company in Pune, you have any problem, location problem or other thing. So I have told no sir, I will find if you like in at any location. So
ओके
that thing in the second round was.
सो ये मेनली आपके एमटीपी मतलब डीप डिस्कशन ऑन योर एमटीपी
Yeah, only thesis there was, only thesis he
ओके
asked me all question. Hmm.
तो कितने घंटे ये चला फिर ये डीप डिस्कशन
Yeah, almost half an hour he have asked me that question, thesis part. And then
ओ
after 5 to 10 minutes, he just taught me like basics
या
or like in my
या
family and in like HR type of questions.
Okay. Okay. Relocation and all, like whether you have any issues in
Yeah,
relocating to Pune and all. Okay. Okay. So
yes,
somehow then I believe that in this interview, your MTP played a very important role.
yes, yes. Because my MTP is aligned to their company
Right.
products. Like I have worked with different type of converters. I know I have basic knowledge of converter. Basically, my MTP is core sector of that electrical related to core engineering of electrical. So basically, that helped me a lot.
Oh, right, right. Yeah, I believe that in case of R&D profiles and also in case of core engineering, like domain profiles, like your MTP plays a very important role. That if your
Yes,
MTP aligns with what they are doing, that is definitely a big plus
yes.
for the student.
Hmm.
Right, right. Yeah. So others then, yeah, इसके बाद भी कोई और round था after this like
No, no,
okay,
that is fine. And then they have published that result and
okay.
they have selected it.
So how many offers did they finally make? How many students were finally selected?
Yeah, total five are selected from IIT
Okay,
Bombay.
total five
Hmm.
IIT Bombay. Okay, for this role only,
Actually, in
power.
five,
Yeah.
no, actually in five, one is for embedded firmware engineer
Okay.
also.
Okay.
So four they have selected for power electronic design engineer, and one is for embedded firmware.
तो क्या ये embedded firmware के इंटरव्यूज अलग पैनल था या
Yeah,
सेम ओके अच्छा अलग पैनल ही थे
no, that is different panel for embedded.
ओके
Hmm.
ओके सो इट मींस दैट दे ऑफर डिफरेंट प्रोफाइल्स मींस अप्लाई करने के टाइम पे डिफरेंट ऑप्शंस था आपके पास कि पावर
Yes,
इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स का था एम्बेडेड का था एंड सो ऑन
yes,
ओके
yes.
ओके ओके गॉट इट या दैट मेक्स सेंस आल्सो या श्योर
Hmm.
सो इसके बाद इन इतने प्रोसेस के बाद यू गॉट नो दैट ओके फाइनली यू मेड इट टू द लिस्ट एंड यू वर सेलेक्टेड फॉर द दिस प्रोफाइल ओके
Yes.
या So Adarsh, we have covered like almost all the things which happened in your case, test interviews and all these things. We covered the resources, various questions or discussions which happened in the interview. So like, and yeah, as we know that you joined a very core engineering like R&D profile आपने join किया, और बहुत सारे लोग especially those who go for a masters at IIT Bombay, they somehow dream for these profiles कि मुझे अपने ही field का अगर काम मिल जाए, तो then they opt for it and then they enjoy doing this. So like what advice would you like to offer for those students, those who want to get into these roles or similar types of roles? उनके लिए क्या सलाह आप देना चाहेंगे?
Yeah. So first I want to give advice like what are the courses that is going in IITB you will take. First of
Yeah.
all, do that course project very seriously,
Yeah.
and also what are the tool that prof are telling that you have to use. Learn that tool also, and after that, first of all, by making that resume, you have to very careful what are the
Yes.
things you have to add in resume, because in interview all the things they have asked about your resume,
Right.
whatever you will write they will ask that question.
Yes.
And you have to not write in resume very unnecessary thing, that thing that is more important, and also in simple way you have to write.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I feel that resume plays very major portion. And also first of all that student have to also maintain a good CPI. Like
Correct.
if your CPI is more than 8, then
Yeah.
that is very good, that reflect good in for
Yeah.
that interviewer also. And also you will like shortlist for every interview,
Yes.
that is also matters. So I have seen that in many resumes some people are written some fancy words and some like big words, so that will play difficult in interview. So
Yeah.
write that thing that is more important, and also you have to clear idea what you have written in resume.
Yes.
And
Yes.
also by from resume point you have to write separately all the project in one copy, and also detail overview of every project you have written in resume. So revise that project, and also revise that gate syllabus if you want to join core sector. In gate
Yes.
syllabus you
Yes.
have to particular main focus on power electronics, machine, and also networks and control system. That four
Yes.
subject is more important.
Yeah.
So by covering that, I think it will cover a lot for you. It will also give confidence to in interview also. So
Yeah.
that thing I want to say.
Right. Right. Yeah, of course, like keeping things simple, as you mentioned that in project you should explain this in very simple words, like just not start with very very jargons, very
Yes.
hi-fi words. That does not add any impact. So you should start with
Mm.
very simple in simple words, and of course resume पे bluff नहीं करना चाहिए, वही लिखो जितना आप handle कर पाओगे.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
when we are preparing resume we feel that okay we can write so much and this much things, but yeah that might backfire you in fact. So better है कि वही लिखो जितना आप handle कर पाओगे. Right, right. Yeah, definitely these things will definitely help the upcoming students. और आपकी journey like you did your bachelor's in electric engineering, और फिर आपने मास्टर्स ज्वाइन किया energy sciences at IIT Bombay, and now you are placed in an R&D wing. So ये एक काफी अच्छा transition है, and that would motivate the upcoming students, and उन्हें idea भी मिलेगा कि how they can also prepare for these roles. So yeah, thank you so much for sparing time and sharing your experience with us. Yeah.
Thank you, Bhaiya, for inviting me. Like, it is a great experience.
Yeah. Yeah.